The living room is where you make life's most beautiful memories. But your sofa shouldn't be the one remembering them. The new life-resistant, high-performance furniture collection from Ashley is designed to withstand all the spills, slip-ups, and muddy paws that come with the best parts of life. Ashley high-performance sofas and recliners are soft, on-trend, and easy to clean. Shop the high-performance furniture in-store or online at ashley.com. Ashley, for the love of home.
Thompson Robinson, heaving one down the sideline, and he's got Cass Allen over the top. Big down the sideline. Touchdown. His signature move and his signature performance. Allen, big ball one more time. 58 yards this time.
You're listening to the Bruin Bible. This is your host, Will Decker, bringing you UCLA football content all throughout the year for LA Football Network.
What is up, and welcome to another edition of the Bruin Bible. Will Decker, your host. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing the podcast. We are brought to you guys today by our advertisers. Our advertisers are Bell to Bell Fitness, Shea Tor, a realtor out in Arizona, former Bruin alum, and my main man Howard Chang, a realtor right here in Los Angeles. Let's go through them, guys. Bell to Bell Fitness is a boxing gym on the West Coast, used by their FIT acronym, Fight Inspired Training. My main man, Tony Gonzalez, was the boxing coach for UCLA for over 10 years. He has built this gym on the West Side to learn how to boxing, stay in shape, and get you all the essentials you need to become somebody that is obsessed with boxing and fitness. Make sure to check it out. Go into Bell to Bell Fitness and say you heard about it from the Bruin Bible, and you're going to get a free session with Tony Gonzalez. So make sure to check that out. Shea Tor, my main man. Shea Tor is a licensed real estate agent in Arizona and a lifelong Bruin. He's a current Wooden Athletic Fund donor and football season ticket holder. When not selling houses or going to UCLA games, he loves to travel the country, checking out different arenas, ballparks, and stadiums. If you're looking to make the move to Arizona or know someone who is, please reach out to our loyal friend, Mr. Shea Tor. His phone number is 602-487-3975. Once again, his number is 602-487-3975. Make sure to check that out. And then the local realtor we got out here, Howard Chang. Howard Chang is a local realtor with the Serene team at eXp Realty. Their team has an office right here in Culver City, though they help clients buy and sell homes all over the LA County and the surrounding areas. Howard and his team do a ton of business and are super in tune with the market, knowing winning strategies to give their clients a competitive advantage, have amazing vendor referrals, are a one-stop shop for anything real estate, and just provide a ton of value for their clients. Howard and his partner, Kyle Draper, are UCLA alums and a huge fans of the UCLA football and basketball programs. You often see them at games, tailgating and networking, and staying involved with the UCLA alumni community. They would love to help any fellow alumni with accomplishing their real estate goals. So if you guys have any real estate needs in the LA area, look no further. Howard is your guy. All right, guys, we're going to go into the episode. Man, what is up, and welcome to the latest edition of the Bruin Bible. We got our second transfer in the UCLA class on. We had your buddy Ruben Unige come on last week, who's going to be on the O-line with you, and we had to get it done, guys. This is the main man coming from UNLV, Alani Makihele. What is up, my guy? How are we doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you guys for having me on here. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Makihele is such a big addition to the class, started 13 games last year for UNLV. Such a lot of different characteristics he brings to the table, and just seems like one of the best guys we've had. We've interacted on Twitter. Awesome dude. So we are very thrilled to have him out here on ESPN Radio 1090 The Mightier. Mr. Makihele, talk to me, bro. I want to go back to the beginning. How did you get pushed towards the game of football? I did a little bit of research before coming in here. Born in Sacramento, and then you moved to Alaska, a place where, as someone from California and the West Coast, I'm not too familiar with it. I know it's probably a little bit more difficult to get some recruiting stuff going on there. But talk to me about what it would be like to play high school football in Alaska and try to get out to your dream of playing professionally in the NFL someday.
Man, it was hard. It was hard. I say that for sure. Coming from Alaska, there's little chance to go out and play Division I football, and so I had like dreams and aspirations of going to NFL when I was a kid, but living in Alaska and kind of being raised there, it was kind of hard to like really see myself, you know, being able to go to the next level. And there's a few guys. Brandon Peely, he ended up going to USC, but like that was really the only one that's really made it out in the time that I was in high school. And so, it was a challenge. But it's a lot different from what I'm seeing out here, watching high school football out here. It's a lot different for sure.
Definitely, man. And like, where did this dream start? Like, who pushed you towards the game of football? Was it like a parent or an older brother, or maybe a family member as a cousin, your friends? Who pushed you towards the game, and where did this love for football really start for you?
So it started when I was a kid. My dad had me and my siblings boxing, and
Oh,
my dad and his whole family are boxers. And so you know growing up, that's what me and my older brother was training for. And at at one point in time, I'm starting to grow and grow and keep growing. And then my mom and dad had a talk, and then they sat me down. They're like, "Listen, son, like you're gonna be a football player." And I was a child. I was a kid, so I was like, "Yeah, like I watched a lot of YouTube football highlights, hit stick videos." And so I was like, "Yeah, for sure, for sure." So I started playing second grade, and I really loved it. And I don't know, there was something about the game of football that just it made me fall in love with the game of football.
I love it, dude. You gotta talk to me. Some of your favorite boxers of all time. Who are they? I'm a big boxing buff myself.
Really, all
Yeah.
right, all time. So I like all time. Like back in the day is pretty cool, but nowadays I think there's some real monsters over here. Terrence Crawford, one of my favorite ones. Naoya Inoue is my second favorite. Mayweather from back in the day, back when he was the young Mayweather and didn't have the broken hands.
Oh
Uh,
man.
but yeah, 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 yeah. Those are my top three.
Yeah, young Mayweather, people don't know he had knockout power in the beginning, bro. Like
Yeah,
he had everything of the defensive fighter that he was at the end, but he
yeah,
can knock you out, man. So Mayweather was an absolute stud back in the day. And dude, I mean, we just heard it on the Kendrick Lamar diss track. Terrence Crawford being brought up by K-Dot.
yeah.
He's the GOAT, man. That's good stuff coming. One GOAT to another right there. Kendrick Lamar to Terrence Crawford. So talk to me about high school recruiting and how you wound up at UNLV initially out in Las Vegas, a big, Division One school on the West Coast that everyone knows about out here. How did you get from Alaska out to Las Vegas?
Yeah, so it was a weird like whole transition. Um my freshman and sophomore year of high school, I had absolutely no looks, and in my head, I'm like not really going anywhere. I didn't think I was going to play football at the next level just because it's a super small chance of me going out. And I ended up I have a trainer. It was a personal trainer, offensive line coach. His name is Coach Toro. And so Coach Toro, he brought me out. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to an offensive line clinic." He was a big LaCharles Bentley fan. And, so he's like, "I'm going to an offensive line clinic. It's going to be out in Arizona. And, I want you to come with me." And I was like, I mean, sure. Like my dad, he works at Delta, so we get free flight benefits. I'm like, yeah, like I'll go out there. And so I went out to Arizona. They had this coach's clinic. And while we were there, he had a contact that was inside the coach's clinic that knew Kevin Mawai. And Kevin Mawai at the
Oh
time was,
yeah.
yeah, so Kevin Mawai was at Arizona State at the time. And so he goes, "Yeah, bring him on out. We'll bring him on unofficial visit." And so I went out there and got to see a whole look at, the very first time seeing a college, Division One college campus, and just being on the West Coast. It's very nice weather, all that. So I'm looking around, and at the end of this thing, we ended up taking a picture that I posted on my Twitter, and it was actually crazy because he reposted it on his Twitter, and by the time I landed back home from Arizona, I opened my phone and I have like 50, 60 Division One college coaches that follow me on Twitter. They're DMing me, "I like your film. I like it. What's up, big dog?" And that kind of like my head was everywhere at the time, and so yeah, it was just a crazy experience. I ended up getting invited to Oregon Junior Day, University of Oregon Junior Day, and
Yeah.
out there, Coach Justice, he's currently at SMU right now. He was the offensive line coach at UNLV. He ended up offering me while I was in Oregon. So that first offer, and I took my visit out there. I loved it, and yeah, it's kind of how I landed at UNLV.
UNLV, you have this offensive coordinator named Marion Grice, who runs a go-go style offense.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could kind of break that down for us, because when we did have the initial head coaching, look for UCLA before Deshaun was named the head coach, a lot of the fan base was pining for this guy named Grice, who's doing big things as the OC at UNLV. What is the go-go offense? It's like a wing tee mixed with a little bit more passing. Can you explain it to somebody that wouldn't know? Because as a football nerd myself, I've tried to get myself up to speed with what it may be. But
Yeah.
coming from a former lineman, you may be able to tell me a lot better than I could ever imagine.
It's very deceptive. It's very deceptive. It's a lot of people get confused on having two backs in the backfield, or sometimes even maybe a third. So a lot of coaches, they'll run 12 personnel, which is the extra, they'll bring in an extra offensive lineman in. But sometimes we'd even bring in a 13th or 14th personnel, where we bring two extra offensive linemen to play tight end and maybe fullback. It's very tricky. It's very tricky. So a lot of defenses got confused on how we ran it. But yeah, that's how I'd explain it. So it's a lot more tricky than people realize.
Absolutely, man. So this year you kind of sat on the bench for a couple of years trying to work your way up. This past year, man, you put it all together out there, Alani. 13 starts, played over 800 snaps. What led to this, you kind of coming out and just having a moment on the college football gridiron where you get to start at a Division I level and not only start, but play pretty damn well at the top of it, Alani?
I would say that it was a combination of a lot of things. Coming into that season, the new coaching staff was there, so they were kind of trying to figure out who's where and who's who. Trying to figure out names, and so and they had brought in some of their own guys, and we actually had a guard over there at the time. His name was Preston Nichols, and Preston was the original starter, but he ended up transferring out. And, they were looking for that person to fill that spot. And they brought me up there. And, it was a battle throughout the whole fall camp, spring ball. But then after the first game, all the work that I put in the offseason kind of just showed the first game.
Absolutely, man. So 9-5, you guys have a very successful season. You guys go to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. You decide to go into the transfer portal, Alani. Talk to me about some of the schools you were looking at and the initial UCLA visit that, may have laid the footwork for you to get out and become a UCLA Bruin. Talk to me about the transfer portal and what it was like for you.
Man, it was scary. It was scary for sure. As you're coming in as a starter, and now it's like you're throwing that away for potentially something better, and it's really what I was looking for. I really want to put myself in the best position to get into the next level, and so I just decided, I'm like, man, I really want to go to the NFL, and I want to just see where I can put myself in a position that will get me there the best. And so going to the transfer portal, it was crazy. It was crazy. I think the first day I entered it, I think over 100 coaches on its Twitter followed me, and it was wild. I ended up, I think Coach Ford saw one of my guys' name's Coach Troop. He was in contact with Coach Ford at UCLA, and Coach Ford ended up calling me. He's like, "Hey, big dog, just want to get to know you." So me and him are chatting. He's like, "Man, you check all the boxes. I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Coach Castillo, offensive line coach." And me and Coach Castillo hopped on the phone, and man, it was different than the rest of the experiences I had, because Coach Castillo was already, because he's seen my film, and so he sent me some videos, and he's like, "Listen, man, I think you need to work on this, and this, and this, and I think I can help you out." And I've never had a coach, really coach me in the portal, so it was very different. And going on the visit, everything was perfect with UCLA.
Absolutely, man. When you look at Juan Castillo, your goal is to make it to the next level. This guy was the Eagles offensive line coach for over a decade. You know what I mean? He got Jason Kelsey and Jason Peters to levels that you'd never seen before. Yeah. Any other interactions you've had with, Coach Foster himself and Eric Bieniemy? He's an intense guy, but he loves his guys and he gets the best out of them. Talk to me about those interactions with the new head coach on campus and the new OC as well.
Man, I got to coach. I got to talk to Coach Bieniemy. It was very cool, like very relaxed. I was calm. Like I was very comfortable around him. And he seemed like a genuine person. And so, and he really knows what he's talking about. So him, and my mom were talking. We're just talking football, talking life, and then talking about like stories that because he knows some guys from Alaska, and so him and my mom were like, "Oh wait, this guy and this guy." That's it's such a small world. So talking to Coach Bieniemy is it was very comforting. Knowing that I will be able to level up my game without any worries. And Coach Foster, he's the thing I like about these coaches is that they're all believers in Christ, and so that's one thing that kind of stood out to me going on this trip. And Coach Foster, we talked a lot. And him and his wife got to talk to my mom. So did Coach Castillo and his wife, and we all went to dinner a couple times. And so it was really nice getting to know these coaches, and I think they got a good future coming in with UNLV or UCLA.
I love it, man. Yeah, it's an adjustment period, man. UCLA will be rolling off the tongue here in no time, my guy. I got a fun game for us to play before you go. Alani, this was so much fun to have you on. It's a speed round. We just got to ask you some quick questions. The fan base gets to know you better. Are you ready?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Favorite football player to mold your game after?
Oh man, I would say that's hard. I watched a lot of Trent Williams and Troy Fautanu. I watched a lot of those guys.
Fautanu's great, man. I mean, the top 20 pick in the draft. Trent Williams, I mean, the greatest left tackle of our era right now. Talk to me about this. Favorite food when you have like a cheat day, you can go out, eat whatever you want. What are we eating, Alani?
20-piece chicken nuggets from McDonald's.
Oh, bro, can't beat it, man. The McDonald's nuggets go so hard. I
Yep.
love it. Favorite TV show?
Oh man, that's hard. I'm an anime guy. So I would have to say Naruto.
Love it, man. We've interviewed your teammate Devin Kirkwood before. Big anime guy. You guys are gonna hit it off with the anime on that. And then one of the last questions I got for you: dream vacation spot, bro.
Oh man, I would have to say the island of Maui in Hawaii. That's probably the best vacation spot that I've been to. And if I when I become an NFL player, and I go on those vacations, I'm definitely going out there.
Awesome, bro. Well, Alani, the pleasure was all ours, man. This was so much fun to have you on the show. Welcome out to Westwood. Welcome out to UCLA. I hope the community embraces you as much as we've embraced this interview. We love having you here, man, and we're very excited to have you here. Alani, don't be a stranger, brother. Thank you for coming on here, and man, we wish you nothing but the best.
And I appreciate you guys for having me out here, man. It's been a blessing talking to you guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Have a great one, Alani. We'll talk very, very soon. Bruin Bible, we are out.
Whether you're a morning person or a bedtime procrastinator, everyone deserves a mattress that works for their style. And you'll find the best mattress for you at Ashley. The new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley brings you one-of-a-kind body-conforming technology, making every sleep tailored to be your best. The collection also features cool-to-the-touch covers and motion absorption to help minimize sleep disruptions from partners, pets, or kids. Shop the all-new Temper-Adapt collection at Ashley in-store or online at ashley.com. Ashley, for the love of home.